Hey, good morning. So, before this whole YouTube online internet video thing, I had a very strong interest in being a writer. It's kind of what I wanted to do for a good deal of my life. But I've kind of set those ambitions on the wayside. Uh, I've always had some kind of creative ambitions throughout my life, and they all seem to be on paths that just aren't very feasible to make a living. But honestly, that's just all creative shit in general. You could be talking about sculpture and I don't know, crocheting. None of it's exactly great ways to make a living. So let's talk about that. Welcome to your morning Schmiel. It's your morning Schmiel. Boo doo 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 doo. Good day. Yeah. I've been getting the urge to write again, specifically poetry, but also short stories and things like that. And the thing that's been on my mind is how to go about distributing what I write, right? See, I believe the traditional way to go about it is to find some kind of literary publication, submit your short stories, submit your poetry, and hope they publish it. And then it gets put into an anthology and sent out to whoever actually gets literary anthologies. That's part of the thing. I don't think anyone actually gets literary magazines anymore, except for maybe a very specific few, right? And then they read it, and hopefully they like it, and you can put that on your resume, right? The thing is, like, the distribution for poems and short stories are weird, almost non-existent. I mean, from my understanding is you just don't publish short story anthologies. It's not a thing that gets published, right? And I can't think of a single person that regularly reads literary magazines. I don't know. I don't think that's really part of the culture. Maybe people involved in the literary profession, perhaps, are very voracious readers, but I would imagine most of them would just opt to, go to your local used bookstore and pick something off the shelf or get something that they've heard about, right? Rather than just take a chance on like 17 randos in a magazine that just got dropped off at your door. There's hardly any time to read as is. You know what I mean? So it just. And even then, if your short story collection got published in a real anthology, as rare as it would be, it's, there's just not the same market for it as there is for novels. And the market for novels is already, like, so bloody hard to deal with to begin with. If it's not as good as that, like, what hope does it have? How does anyone read your short stories? Where do they go? Probably nobody, I guess. As tough as it is to make it with short stories, poetry seems all the harder. I don't know. I feel like the way people interact with poetry these days is through kind of like online recitations of slam poems, right? That seems to be the main, I guess, vessel for it. Now, I bring this all up because, I write, and I've been thinking about writing poetry again, thinking about writing short fiction again. And the thing is, like, I don't know, I don't want to, make money would be cool and all, but what's more interesting to me is just to have people read it. I want to get my work in front of people. I believe art is a thing that's meant to be shared, right? You make something, you want to show it to people, right? I don't know, see if they like it. In fact, I even took this into my hands one time. I went to Carytown, which is a kind of like a popular shopping district here one day, maybe 2 summers ago, and I went there with with 2 large plastic containers that I stacked on top of each other to make a desk and a chair and a folding chair. And I sat out there with a bunch of my poems printed out and a bunch of my photography prints printed out and just schlocked it for, just a kind of pay what you want price, I had some recommended prices. I had a little bucket full of haikus. You give me a quarter, I'll give you a random haiku for my haiku bucket. A little haiku slot machine, that was cool. And, I had full poems printed out for, like $1 or whatever. And it was exciting. I really enjoyed it because, honestly, that felt more like getting my work out in front of people than anything else I've done. It wasn't really to make money. I mean, make money's cool, but I just wanted people to see it. Although I did make $20. Hey! And sadly, that seems like a more realistic distribution method than submitting to a literary magazine. The big thing to me is these anthologies. Like, it would be really cool to be published. I don't know. I would love to see my words just in ink in a book. That would be just amazing. Even if no one reads it, I would have it and be like, look, I got the thing. Look, my words. It would be a huge deal. That would be really cool. But my understanding is they typically want first publishing rights, right? So they want it to have not been shown anywhere else. And, you know, looking at the realistic, I guess, looking at the market for this stuff realistically, I kind of feel like my best chance to actually get my work in front of people is just to post it online and give it away for free. Get it on Tumblr and get some tags under it, right? And, you know, maybe someone will stumble across it and maybe someone will like it, and that seems like as difficult and as rare as it would be for someone to just wander across my shit on the internet. I don't know. I feel like there's a better chance of getting people to actually read it and give it a chance by doing that than I would have getting it published in some rando anthology. And plus, I'm not gonna lie, I'm super impatient, and I don't know, I write because it feels good to have written, and as soon as I finish it, I'm like, oh my god, I finished my thing, I want to show somebody immediately, so I have this really strong impulse to just upload it. That's why YouTube's perfect for me. I just can just shoot this thing, slap it together, put it on the internet. And that impulse does not go away with, like, poems. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like there's a more, I feel like I have a greater chance of getting people to actually see the things I've written, just throwing it online. But if I just throw it online, no one would want it if I submit it for publication, right? So I'm torn. I guess not really torn. I don't know. If I write something, should I just put it on the internet, or should I see if I can really get it published? Maybe someone actually would chuck a couple shekels my way. Probably not. I mean, nobody's really buying short story anthologies, so how do they have any money to give anyone that submits to short story anthologies, right? But it would just be cool to be in a book. And that's one thing you can put down, published and yada 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 on your resume, and lends you kind of, you know, gusto or whatever. I don't know. I feel like deep down I know I should just slap it on the internet. That seems like the way the world works now, right? I feel like I would be chasing an old system. I feel like the way to go is to, you know, get some eyeballs, hopefully people like it, build an audience, and then if someone likes it, maybe someone would buy a chapbook I make myself just to be supportive. I kind of feel the same way about photography too. Just get your stuff on the internet. I don't know, I feel like that's how it works to be a creative in the modern era. Put it online, build an audience, and then, you know, once you have an audience that knows your work and likes your work, you can take it somewhere from there, right? I don't know, that seems to be how the creative world works today to me. Even with YouTube videos, right? Step 1, make some cool shit. Step 2, get some people to look at it. Hopefully they like it, and then take things from there. Or you can just send it to publishers and hope you get lucky. I don't know. Being a poet seems like such an outdated thing these days. being a poet feels like a bit of an anachronism these days. Poetry just doesn't feel relevant anymore. I don't even read that much of it. I still get a weird urge to write it, though. I don't know what's up. Of course, maybe none of it means anything, because it could all just be trash to begin with. I'm sorry. This is long. This is rambly. We should bounce. See you tomorrow, 7 a.m.